how much is my house? How much is my house worth? We're going over this today, and I'm going to tell you how to look at things two different ways. But first, I watched Stranger Things last night. Can we talk about the season finale? I mean, the mind flare was smoke, and then it was just like this spider, and then yes, Vector made it a spider because that's what he was. I didn't like it. I personally thought it was okay. I mean, Linda Hamilton, she survives. She's got like an unlimited amount of army guys, but they always come in like sets of 10 and then they die, and then another set of 10 come in and then they die. And all she cared about was getting 11 to fight the Russians. I personally didn't like it. I wish she, I don't know. Your take, comment below. Let's talk about Stranger Things in another video. So, how much is your house worth? Your home is worth what the buyer is willing to pay, and your home has value to what the bank feels it's appraised at, right? Highest and best use. So let's go this way first. Okay. Let's say you truly want to know what your home is worth because you want to do a refi or a home equity, whatever. The bank will value your home based on highest and best use and comps. Where this differs is this. Let's say you don't have the best paint inside, or let's say your staging isn't good and you don't live very nice. The bank doesn't care about that stuff. Yes, they'll look at certain factors like square footage and different variables and the lot and all that, but they're not looking internally what a buyer looks at. Hear me out here. So you can have two homes, the same exact home, and this person lives amazing and clean and the staging's beautiful and everything, and this house is like, meh. They still will have the same value in the bank's eyes when you're doing like a refi or you're doing a home equity line, because the bank has no eyes for the look. They have no skin in the game in that sense, or a desire factor, right? It's almost like, stupid analogy, but hear me out here. You have two people on a blind date, and they all the same size, everything else. One has stains all over their shirt, and the other one's dressed to the T, but the person going on the date is blind. I mean, think of it that way, because I want you sellers to understand something. The bank decides value that way, but they're not buying your house. So when you're putting it on the market, the buyers decide value and price on the open market, especially in a buyer's market. Because now when they're looking at these homes, and let's say you have a 3-bedroom home and they have a 3-bedroom, and they walk in these homes, and one person lives like a sloppy mess, or say, and one house looks beautiful, the value of desire in the eyes will be like, I would buy that house over that house. Oh, you want to sell that house? Well, the crappier house, I'll give you XYZ, and I want you to pay all my closing costs, and blah, 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 blah. See, because you have to remember, the product itself has value 3 different ways. Let's just talk about like gold or a watch or whatever the case may be. Either A, I'm taking this product and I'm selling it to somebody else. So I'm getting it for price A, and I'm able to sell it to somebody else for price B. Second is there's a feeling of need, or I need this. I don't need it to live. I just need it. I want it. It's desirable. It's the one of a kind. There isn't that many of it, so I need it. And then there's I need it to live, right? I need it to live. It's something that I need in my life, and I have to get it. So let's look at it like this in real estate. During COVID, there wasn't that much inventory. So the supply and demand was so far down that people just needed something. I need this. The interest rates are low, and I can work wherever I want to work. And I need this. The value goes up because I need it. The desire factor kind of went down a little bit because it wasn't like, well, that house is better than that. I didn't have a choice. I needed it. The inventory was low. I wanted. I can't. The value from A to B was gone because the prices weren't low enough for me to flip it. So that was gone. The need of just wanting it really wasn't there, but it was. The need of I have to have it to live was there because I can work from wherever I want to work. I can move to any state I want, right? I have the money to do it. A lot of people from up north, interest rates are low and the inventory was low. So it skyrocketed because buyers didn't have the other choices. Now buyers do. And buyers say, well, I do want to live there, but I have 50 million choices. I can get this and flip it here. And, you know, Yeah, I necessarily don't need to have it, but if I can get it for a good deal, I want it, right? And this is where certain homes come into play. I don't know if I'm confusing you here, but hear me out here. If you are the only home that has the pool on the lot that's on the pond and you have the solar paid off, you then become the desirable house. So the need that somebody goes, oh, I want that house. There's not that many of them. I want that. That's where in a buyer's market, your home can bring more value because there's a lot of inventory still, right? Tons of inventory. Buyers don't need to buy, right? There's not that I have to buy. But when you have that house that sits above the rest, when you're the only house that has the pool on the pond, you bring more value, right, to the desire factor to the buyers. So let's backtrack. How much is your house worth? It all determines on the market you're in, what factors you have to bring your house to make it stand up, what buyers are willing to pay in a market that's either crazily oversaturated or nothing, right? If you're trying to get the value in that sense. But on the flip side, how much your home is worth to the banks, if you're doing refis and whatnot, is what the value the bank decides on highest and best use. Just because the bank says, oh, your house is worth 500,000 does not mean it's going to sell even close to that. Because buyers can be like, I don't care what the house is worth. I'm not giving you that. There's too much inventory everywhere. This is what sellers are not understanding, and this is what realtors aren't understanding either. Go down freaking to Publix tomorrow. How come all the cereals are still there? Because no one has to buy cereal. How come there's 50 million bottles of water? Because no one needs to buy water. There's enough of it that we can buy it and use it what we want. But when there's a hurricane or something, there's nothing left because the need for it skyrockets. Right now, no one needs real estate, right? There's no need for it. Sellers might need to sell, but there's no need for a buyer to buy your house unless you're a desirable house that stands above the rest. I can buy your house and I can flip it, or I, the buyer, need to buy a house, which then is if my landlord sold the house from underneath me and I have to find a house. This is the only time your home gets desirable. Right now, your home is worth what the market calls for. A realtor like me will explain it and show you the incentives on how to make your house stand up. During the COVID times and that craziness, you can put your house on the market with a fallen tree on top of it and it wouldn't have mattered. So your home is worth what the buyer's willing to pay for it. And on the flip side, your home is worth what the bank is going to tell you it's worth in this market if you're doing anything within the bank. I hope that answers it. I'll probably do more videos on this if it gets a little confusing. But that is how you determine real estate. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Stranger Things ending.